Greetings, HMTCA students. We are going to start our journey into HTML, Hypertext Markup Language. And these are what all web pages are made from. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to make a folder. We need to save to My Documents. Okay, so in Documents, we're just going to right click and folder, and we'll just call it website or my website. Let's call it website with your last name. Oops, I got it all in caps. I don't put it in caps. I like lowercase. It makes it easier for typing. Okay, so once you do that, all right, we have website with your last name. So we need that folder because everything we do is going to be saved into that folder. The next thing we need to do is open up WordPad. So we're going to go to Start, go all the way down to the bottom here. It might be in Accessories up top, depending on what version of Windows you have. It's either Windows Accessories or Accessories. And we are going to find WordPad. And there we go. We have WordPad. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to save this document into that folder. So we're going to save as, and we're going to call it index.html. Okay, got to make sure you put that tag HTML. I find my folder, make sure I save it into the web site Vasescus folder. And index is just what they usually call the first name of a web page. Okay, and don't worry about this. We don't want to save, we don't want any formatting. So we do that. So the very first thing when we start a web page is, well, let's see if we can do this here. I want to get this kind of set up properly so we can kind of see both things going on at once here. So I have this index page. Now if I go in here, oh, there it is. It's already defaulted to Chrome and it says HTML document. If I didn't save it as an HTML, it would just save it as the type of WordPad document here, and it wouldn't look like a web page. So I'm doing this because I want it to kind of look like this a little bit, so we can kind of see at the same time we're typing here. Okay. All right, all it does is say index HTML. All right, we have it there. Let me close some of this stuff here for us. Okay. And there we go. All right, so the first thing we do is we're going to do tags. Tags is how everything starts in HTML. You're just telling the computer that this is an HTML document. So we start with this, do this. Okay, let me make this a little, let's see if we can make this a little bigger somehow. Oh no. Let me see here, view. That's going to be a problem. So I'm going to do a little tag here. I'm going to go HTML. And then we're going to close the tag. All right. And then just we open it, everything's got to be closed. So I'm just going to skip down a little bit, do like 10 times. And this time we put a forward slash. So here, forward slash HTML. So now we're telling the computer everything in between here and here is going to be a web page. Now we need some things. In a web page, we have something called a header. We talked about this earlier, right? There's a header, there's a body, there's a footer. So we're just gonna, oops, HTML. You got to be very careful. So if you do that, you're going to mess things up. So you got to be careful and you really got to pay attention. That's the thing about doing hypertext markup language. It's detailed on the letters. If you get one thing off, it's not going to work. So we do head, right? And to do that, like I said, we always got to close it. So everything in our header is going to go in between there. And then, of course, we need a body, right? Close our body. And there we go. So we're almost ready to get started. So now if I save this, I'm gonna save it. And I can go back here and I hit and nothing happened. It just says index HTML. So we're just going to change that. In the header, we're just going to add something called a title. So I'm just going to do title, and I'm going to put in my first web page. Okay. And again, we close it. That helps like that. We hit save, hit yes. Go here, we hit refresh. And what's it say up here? It says right up here, my first web page. So with that, you need to be very, very mindful of what you are doing. You need to, so if I just did this and took this out and said web page and hit save, then I go back, I hit refresh, it says first web page. So that just puts a title in the tab. It doesn't put a title here. So the next thing, we're just going to say body here. We're going to do a paragraph here. And the paragraph tag is just a P, real simple. And I'm going to go, this is a paragraph. Sorry, my children in the background, if you heard them. Paragraph. And then I close it, which is just like you think. Just like that. This is a paragraph. I hit save, and yes. I hit refresh. Oh, there's a paragraph. Woohoo! We're well on our way. So the last thing we're going to do here is we're going to add a header. So what we can do here, it's called H1. Oops, not HI, H1. All right. And we can put my first web page. There we go. And then close it. And there we go. We hit save. Yeah. Now let's see what happens here. If I hit refresh, my first web page. So there we go. The title now H1. It goes H1 through H6. If it gets lower for each number, I increase it in the header. So if I increase the H by 1, it should get smaller in size. So H2 is just a little smaller. Oh, there we go. Okay, and H3 all the way up through H6. So I hope you enjoyed your first tutorial on a web page.